Listo, Hans?
Listo.
Okay, I'm gonna hit start and broadcast.
Okay.
All right, see you in a bit.
All right.
Hi, Diana. Hi, Indiana. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Hope. Greetings from your favorite hotel, or one of your favorites. Renee, Matt, and Jorge. Thank you. It's pretty great to be here. I'm going to wait just a couple minutes to start the tour. I have a quick presentation just so people know where we are in terms of the area on the southern Pacific coast of Costa Rica. And then I'm going to put my video on pause and run up and grab Hans, and we'll start the live tour of the property. We had a slight, not an incident, just guests who decided last minute that they wanted to book a private tour, and the drivers were out with other guests. So our general manager, Roberto Sanso, was supposed to be joining us, but providing excellent guest service, he left to be the driver and take this guest on their excursion. So it's just Hans and I, but we'll have some of the other staff to say hi to. Hi, Erin. Glad you're here. Yes, Diana, we'll have to get you here. Okay, so I'm going to get started. Hello, I'm Kirsten Gardner. I'm the Central America Program Director for Clark Atoll Representation, and I'm very happy to be here live at Kura, Costa Rica. This is an adults-only all-suite property on Costa Rica's southern Pacific coast. It sits above the town of Uvita, which is really well known for Merino Bahia National Park. It's a park that's a marine park. It has this amazing whale's tail formation at low tide, which is starting to be exposed now as the tide's going out. And it's also where humpback whales happen to migrate to in great numbers to mate and give birth to their young July through October. So you can be sitting on your balcony at Kura, drinking coffee and watching whales jump and play. I am going to start by sharing my screen and just take you on a quick walkthrough of Kura and the surrounding area in case people aren't familiar with it. I think you can all see that. Okay, so here we are. This is the main building that you're seeing, and the whale's tail formation is off in the distance here. You can just see on that on the Pacific. It looks pretty far away. It only takes about 20 minutes to get down to the beach. So even though we are more of an ocean view hotel, beach access is definitely possible, and Kura provides private transfers for all of their guests who want to do that. The property is part of Virtuoso. Again, it's eight suites only, so very exclusive, very private. It really feels when you're arriving, it's kind of this utter perfection wow moment of suddenly being at someone's really exclusive villa, but then has all of the services and care taken of a small boutique hotel. Okay, so orienting you here, this is obviously Costa Rica. Most people know Quepos, where Manuel Antonio is, and there we have Arenas del Mar, which I was just at this morning. Kura is about 1 hour south of Manuel Antonio. To access Kura, you would fly into San Jose. That would be your international airport and SJO. A lot of people will opt to take a 20-minute flight via Sansa to Quepos, and then it's about a 1 hour and 20-minute transfer from the Quepos airport to Kura, which can be arranged directly through the hotel. Private aviation is also possible via helicopter. While we don't have a helipad on site, there is an area that a helicopter can land. I think it's like 5 minutes from the hotel on roughly the same elevation. So we do have guests combining Kura with other parts of the country via hotel. Some really popular options are like Origins Lodge, Casilla, Papagayo is sometimes used as a combination, Lapa Rios, even if people want to go to the Caribbean side, Hotel Aguas Claras. There's a lot of great, unique, small boutique properties in Costa Rica now, so you can kind of do these more unique combinations. Whereas before, you had more resort properties, but Kura sort of led the way in that regard, and the owners had a vision that has slowly spread throughout the country. Marino Baina National Park, as I mentioned before, nature gave us this amazing gift with this sandbar formation. It looks like a whale's tail at low tide. You'll be able to see it when we turn Hans's video on. You have amazing views from it from every aspect of the hotel. There's floor to ceiling glass windows, or it's completely open air no matter where you go. Even the bathroom, when you first arrive to the hotel, there's a small, I don't want to call it a public bathroom because Kura is very private, but it's the bathroom you'd use if you're just at the restaurant or the pool and you don't want to walk back to your suite. It has epic views from the bathroom. I posted a selfie there on our on our Instagram earlier today because it's just so fun. And there's 6 different beaches in the area. Some are better for surfing, some are better for stand-up paddleboarding, some are great if you just want to sunbathe. Kura will send your guests down to the beach in their land cruisers, pack them a really nice picnic basket with champagne on ice and canapes that they can have. And unlike other beaches in the country, these are pretty empty all of the time, even during high season. So you can totally have your like shipwrecked Robinson Crusoe moment out on these absolutely beautiful natural beaches that are very, very wild. Just looking some of the views from the hotel. These right now, these are, I might be saying it wrong, but Corteza Amarillo trees. They are these gorgeous trees that bloom yellow. I am almost always here during green season, so roughly, May through November. I've never been here in high season, and a couple days ago, February is the month for these trees to bloom, and the hillside was just covered with these brilliant yellow dots. It was so, so pretty. They only bloom for about 3 days, so most of them have dropped their flowers by now, but that is your view from Kura, looking down at the foothills of the Talamanca Mountains where they roll down to the Pacific coast. And it's truly, this part of Costa Rica, really from Manuel Antonio south, is where the true lowland primary rainforest starts, and that goes all the way to the sea. So it's just stunning natural beauty. And there are your views from Kura. This is the main pool area. Again, it's a small hotel, so you're oriented around this main building where you have your pool, your restaurant, the bar, the sky deck for private dining. There is a spa that's a short distance uphill for couples. And then there's 8 individual suites that are spread throughout the property. And again, everything is taking in this view. One unique thing about Kura, the name actually means jaguar in the Barucan language. I realized the other day, most of the hotels that Clark and I work with in Costa Rica are actually owned and operated by local Costa Ricans, which is kind of unique. And something we are proud of celebrating. And Kura in particular, the owners are, Martin is the gentleman on the left, my left, and then Alejandra is on the right. They are a husband and wife team. Martin was the architect, and Alejandra is a wildlife biologist. And they combined their passions for architecture and design, but definitely taking advantage and really highlighting the natural beauty of this area, planting it with a lot of native and endemic species that would attract a lot of birds and butterflies to the gardens when they created Kura. And their goal, when they bought this land, originally they thought about putting in a skate park. They thought that would be kind of a cool destination to have, like an adventure sports outpost up on this hill, but then they saw the view and they're like, no, we really need to do something extraordinary here. And at the time, Costa Rica really didn't have any of these high design hotels like you might find in Bali or throughout Southeast Asia. So they were some of the first. A couple years ago, they built Kura, they designed it themselves, they brought on Cayuga, Costa Rican company, to manage it. It is very sustainable. They use solar panels to heat the water. Most of the wood is all sustainably harvested teak, no single-use plastics, and then local employment, very, very important. Most of the employees are from the town of Uvita, the surrounding hills of Talamanca Mountains, and then they also really wanted to celebrate the Barucan culture. You can see the mask behind me. These are all made by the Barucan indigenous groups, and this is a very tall mask. I'm gonna stand on this couch. for perspective, it's almost 3 feet tall, and the Barucan people are really well known for their carving artistry. So they'll go, they purchased all of these masks from the local artisans. They're found throughout the hotel, and not right now during COVID, but oftentimes they will bring these master carvers to the hotel to do demonstrations for guests. And if your guests are art collectors, this is a fabulous thing to bring home and add to their collection. Some of the masks by the bar. People always ask about the road. I think it's super fun. I mean, driving around in Costa Rica is just a good time if you like an adventure. It is a 4-wheel drive only road. Most of our guests are not driving themselves. So Kura will pick your guests up down in Uvita and then drive the rest of the distance for them in 4-wheel drive vehicles. It takes about 15 minutes to navigate the road down to town from the hotel, and then another 5 to 7 minutes to get to the beaches, depending on where you're going. I think it's part of the adventure because you're like, you're bumping along on this road. You're like, where the heck am I going? And then you emerge at this absolutely epic property. But yeah, in my opinion, it's not that bad. It's not nearly as bad as driving some of the roads on the Nicoya Peninsula. Here's one of the friendly drivers with their vehicles. Obviously, photos were pre-COVID because everybody is wearing masks now. I just checked in recently. I was so impressed with their procedures. They're super, super dialed in terms of taking your temperature, having a hand washing station set up, sanitizing everything, felt incredibly safe. So we're gonna visit Hans at the pool in just a moment. That's where the restaurant is. Extremely healthy and delicious options. I love the food here. It's delicious and it's not pretentious. It's just like healthy and good and artistic. It uses local ingredients, drawing in a lot of Asian flavors. They have a wonderful carpaccio list, which is like really thinly sliced fish. They have sushi on the menu sometimes. I'm so excited to have dinner here tonight. There's the sky dining option. And before we join Hans, so there's 8 suites at Kura, and they're in 3 different categories. The master suites are occupied. There's 2 of these. They're at the highest point of the hotel. We will take you up towards them to see them from the outside. They're really stunning, beautiful buildings. However, we can't go in them. So I'm going to show you a couple pictures of these, and then we're going to see the Infinity and Junior suites in person. The master suites are more than 1,500 square feet, and they have private pools. We're very happy we have some Virtuoso guests with us right now. They were upgraded complimentary. And these are just super stunning it's an adults only hotel, so couples, honeymooners is mainly our clientele. People are staying anywhere from 3 to 5 nights. And we can talk about excursions and what there is to do in the area, these double rainfall showers with the amazing views. It's either open into the room where there's a curtain you can drag across there for more privacy. And then the outdoor shower in the master suites too. People ask about what is there to do here, and there's a lot. We're only 1 hour from Manuel Antonio, so many of the excursions people go on in sort of Costa Rica's adventure capital, hiking to waterfalls, horseback riding, zip lining, that's all very possible and easy from Kura. We find that most of our guests, once they get here, you are so well cared for, and it is so stunningly beautiful that they want to stay on property, enjoy the spa, be pampered, take a lot of Instagram photos in the pool and of the view. It's not a place that people want to leave. So I would encourage you, when you're selling this to your clients, even if they're like go, go, go people, arrange 1 or 2 things for them. Don't overprogram them because people will end up canceling their excursions. And now I'm going to ask Hans to join us. I'm going to pause my video and put myself on mute, and I'm going to run up to join Hans to start filming, but he's going to begin taking you around some of the public areas first. And Hans, 1 second, there was a question. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, Q&A. We have a question about FAMs in Costa Rica and how do we go about touring the property otherwise. Ariana, I'm going to come back to that. Let's talk about FAMs and how you can get here at the end. Of course, if you're in Costa Rica, we would welcome you to come visit and host you for a meal. Because it is a small property, we do have to be pretty sensitive with having advisors stay overnight. Especially on the weekends, we tend to be busy, but during the midweek, if you wanted to come for a night, we have really attractive rates for that, but we can talk about that at the end. I would ask all of you to, if you see Hans's video, and Hans, I'm going to ask you to turn your video horizontal. So flip it over. There's 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner of Hans's screen. Click on those. It's next to the thing that says mute, and select pin video. And that will allow his video, it will be large on your screen. And if I jump in and say something, it won't jump back and forth between our screens. Okay, Hans, I'm going to stop my video and go on mute and turn this over to you, and I'll see you in a moment.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Great to do this from Kura. I'm going to take off my mask because I'm going to be outside the whole time, and I'm going to be distanced from people. So, and I just lost my earpiece. Okay. So I'm going to turn this around, and I'll show you the arrival to Kura. So as you drive in, you see the backside of the pool, and then you're driving through this, like tunnel-like thing with our Land Cruisers, and then arrive basically here in this area. And as Kirsten pointed out, we have, of course, the hand washing station and sanitizer and all of that. And then here you would get greeted by one of our team members. There's bathrooms down here. There's some cool, I don't want to say graffiti, but like stickers with some sayings, local Costa Rican sayings like suave un toque, that means like tranquilo, wait a moment. Más tico que el gallo pinto, tica, all of those typical sayings of Costa Rica. Here's the logo of Kura, which is the paw of a jaguar, which is what Kura means, as Kirsten explained. And then we're going to walk up these stairs and come to the reception. So quick hello here at the reception. Hello.
Hi, hello. How's everything good?
Good. And then all of a sudden, this appears in front of you. And I mean, but it's just doesn't get old. And okay, might have a lot of sun here against us because the sun is about to set right in front of us in what about like 2.5 hours or so. And yeah, basically this is the pool area, the restaurant. There's a couple having late lunch. And look who's here. There's Kirsten. Yeah. Just take a quick look here at the bar. There's Sergio. Sergio's making the drink because as it is customary for these webinars, at the end of this, I will have a drink. What are you making for me?
I'm making, well, it's a gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic. Oh, yeah.
With Costa Rican cilantro.
Oh,
coriander.
like a Costa Rican gin and tonic.
Yeah.
That's just what the doctor asked for. Great. And then just quick look out here towards the view. This is basically the view from all the rooms because we're on a ridge and everything is lush and green and beautiful. And yeah, so I'm going to take this over I'm going to give my camera to Kirsten and I'm going to show you around. How's this?
That looks good.
Okay, so we're gonna walk to see 2 rooms that are available right now, and then walk up to this spa wellness area, and then take a quick peek at the building of the master suite, and then come back here, and we'll definitely have time for questions and answers as we go along. Oh, it's the sky, of course, the sky deck. Because that's kind of the James Bondy kind of thing that we need to take a look at. So yeah, we're going to the sky deck. And so the reception has the magic button, and then they can just press that, and all of a sudden, this hole in the sky opens up, and you can go up here. And right now, it's pretty bright and hot up here because it's little after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But this is the perfect place for a romantic dinner, drinks at sunset. Obviously, this really amazing view, 360, the ocean here. And what I really like about Kura is that you also have this view into the mountains and into the forest. And as Kirsten explained, what makes this area of Costa Rica so special is that the mountains and the vegetation go straight into the ocean. One thing that I forgot to mention, and I think we can see it from here, is the pool has a couple of amazing features. One is the infinity part of it. The other one, it has a really sophisticated speaker system. So when you dive in the pool, you hear the music really clearly. And then down here, there's a fireplace. So we have like a gas flame that comes out of it with some jets around it. You know, people can sit there, have a drink at sunset, and it becomes a very popular space to just hang out at the end of the day after an active day. And yeah, I mean, I never get tired of this view. It's just really mind-boggling. And as Kirsten said, a lot of people come here with the ambition to do a lot of tours and activities, and they might do one or two, but then they just love hanging out here. Okay, so we're gonna head down and go over to the, oh, you can take a look down here. This is a little bit of the back of the house. This is where the employees eat, where we have some maintenance. And then the building, the wider building, that's our greenhouse where we grow quite a bit of vegetables and herbs for the kitchen. And so it's all very close, very, very integrated. And I'm so happy that Kirsten is here, you know, that she is filming this, that we had lunch together now, that we're able to catch up and ask each other how we fared through these crazy times. And so really excited that she's here and that she's visiting several of our hotels. We're going to do one webinar from Senda on Friday. And I think it's just helpful to see how things are on the ground and what's going on. So Kura has 8 rooms, 8 suites. The suites have basically divided in 3 categories, and the main difference is size. So we have junior suites, which are the smallest version, infinity suites, a little bit bigger, and then we have the master suites. And besides being about as big as you know, a small apartment for a family, they also have these wonderful private plunge pools. So we're going to go into a junior suite now, and they all have separate accesses. You know, very, very, very private, and they are very private because, you know, as Kirsten pointed out, it's an adults-only hotel, so you definitely want to have your privacy. Definitely want to come here with someone. Yeah. So coming in here again, you have the view, the vegetation. Very normal to have toucans, even sloths or other animals show up here in front of this. And as we go into the room, I wanted to point out our Cayuga safety seal. So basically, this means that nobody's been in this room other than the housekeepers that cleaned it. So, you know, we open this. Can we open this?
Very strong seal.
It's a strong seal, so we have to peel it off a little bit. There we go. There we go.
And then, of course, the housekeeping is going to come through again and sanitize the room, anything that we touch.
So you have the rooms are basically set up with the bed in the, you know, takes center. The shower here on one end with 2 shower heads and this connection to the outside, so you feel like it's almost an open shower. Have a bathroom, toilet space here. In this room, the setup of the bathroom is in the back here. You know, the lavatories, the 2 lavatories, And then over on this side, you have closet space, a mini bar, you know, coffee, a little wine fridge, a few bottles of wine, little mini bar with local beers. Again, you know, just pointing out, we don't have plastic bottles. We haven't had plastic bottles at Cayuga Collection Hotels for the last 10 years. And obviously, we continue with this. And yeah, that's basically the junior suite. Did I say everything, Kirsten?
I think so.
Yeah.
Questions? Okay. Lori Snow asked, I logged in late. We can talk while we walk. Getting there, what airport and drive times? Okay.
So flying to San Jose. Hi, Lori. Flying to San Jose. And about driving, it took me this morning about 3.5 hours to drive here from San Jose. And you can fly into Quepos, and then it's another, like 45 minutes, hour maximum to get here. It's, you know, I know you're doing a lot of Panama. Used to have a lot of combinations actually with people coming through from Panama over here. The border crossing is still not quite where it needs to be, but I'm sure we're going to get there soon. So hopefully soon this will also be an option to combine with Isla Palenque in Panama. But for now, you know, best to just do San Jose and then bring them here and combining with the other hotels in Costa Rica. Another question? No, what is it? Okay, so let's go one above where we are right now, where we will visit an infinity suite. I'm sorry, yeah, an infinity suite. This is the junior.
A little bit about the if they want to order room service, the iPad.
Sure.
It's really easy.
Yeah. So you know, there's, you know, we can give you an iPad. You can contact us through, you know, messaging, order room service. You know, we can bring anything you want to your room. I mean, we've had guests that have never really left their room for, you know, so we have to check on them once in a while that they're still okay. Just feed them. They just want to be fed. They just want to be away from it all. And since the hotel's so small and it's only couples, you know, the maximum capacity of people here is 16. And as you can see, it's quite spread out. So social distancing is no problem. Privacy is no problem. It's really easy to just hide away. And as Kirsten said, we're extremely successful here right now in terms of occupancy. Local market has really come quite strong. That's why we're full almost every weekend. But also Americans are visiting us quite a lot, enjoying just this very unique experience being away from it all. So going into the infinity suite, you can see it's just a little bit more spacious as it is laid out. The design and the decor and everything is the same. It's on the second story, so it has a bit more of a more open view than the one below where you have more vegetation. So I think both are wonderful, and I'd be happy staying in either one. Again, the shower, you know, that connects to the outside, definitely a nice feature. You can just open here, and you have like this outside feeling. We're about 1,000 feet above sea level, so it's really, we have air conditioning, of course, but it's really not necessary to use it. It's quite comfortable at night to sleep just with a fan, leave the doors open, and kind of hear the sounds and very few insects. Yeah, constant breeze. So it's very nice to, if you need air conditioning, it's there. But if you enjoy not using it, you know, it's definitely possible. Once again, lavatories. The toilet is hidden in here. Little privacy. And then again, this has also this closet with coffee, mini bar, lots of closet space. Got flashlights, reading lamps, a speaker, laundry bag. You know, the things that you need, you know, when you're on vacation.
They also have really nice binoculars. You can borrow from the front desk if you're into bird watching. It's a great area to bird watch right from your balcony.
Wine, nice. I think we should have one of those tonight, huh? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's go for a walk up towards the master suites and the spa. It's a little bit further up, so please come along this way. And if you want to check if there's any questions while we're walking, if we can answer some. Not right now. Okay. So as Kirsten told us, Martin is the architect, and he has really become quite famous in Costa Rica, because he did this. This was really his first project, and he became very solicited in the area. He's building several houses. Quite a few former guests here of Kura came back, bought land, and are building a house in the area. And Alejandra is a biologist, so the gardens and all of that setup is really her doing to create areas that the local wildlife is always very present. So we're approaching the hola. So we're just gonna go in and take a look at the spa. Permiso. So everything is set up here for a couple massage, of course, a couples massage, and you got the whole bathroom area here for the couples. There's a huge bathroom here. I actually call it the car wash. You could drive a little car in here, and the water comes from top, comes from the sides. It's like you can really get very cleaner. And then let's step out for a moment. Oh, it's a nice breeze. So it's really nice temperature right now. And going here, so there's also, we sometimes set up the spa for couples after dinner with desserts, so they can enjoy this bathtub and just this area, and then they can enjoy this.
Want to talk about what that is?
No, I leave that to everybody's imagination. What that is about. I'm not going to go into detail because there might be underage children watching this broadcast, so we'll just leave it at that. But yes, Kura is probably the sexiest sustainable hotel in the world. So I think you can imagine. So leaving the spa, just a few more steps up is where the master suite is. And as Kirsten said, both master suites are occupied. I would love to show them to you, but I'm also happy that they're occupied because, as you all know, every dollar counts right now. Here's the Instagram picture. Maybe not myself, but somebody else would make a good figure here. And yeah, like walking up here, outside is the plunge pool. I mean, it's probably twice as big, or maybe even 2.5 times as big as the infinity suite that we just looked at. So it's really quite something. And there's two of them. One is behind. So yeah, we've come to the end of the property. You can see the Osa Peninsula in the distance. It's a popular tour to go to the Osa Peninsula for the day. Over there, kind of hard to see probably on camera, is Caño Island, which is a great destination for diving or snorkeling. And then in the distance, you can see the whale's tail. Little by little, it's showing. The tide is going down. And in about an hour and a half, we will see this sand bank exposed from the water. And this is really a great excursion down there, and walk out and swim and snorkel. And as Kirsten said, the beaches here are not very frequented. They're quite solitary, most of them. And just it feels really raw here. Although you're only just an hour south of Manuel Antonio, it really feels quite different. always say it's the anti-Guanacaste, you know.
Diana had a question about COVID testing in Costa Rica.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to address that now or when you get to your...
No, we can, as we're walking down. So the new regulation is that Americans and Europeans as well need to show a COVID test once they check into their airlines. That has been a challenge for the first few days, but we reacted quickly. And so, for example, here at Kura, as hotels, we can do the tests on site or very close by. Now, since last week, that's a PCR test. And then since last week, you can actually do the antigen test in San Jose laboratories and you get the result right away. So that's also an option. You just go back to San Jose. And before you go to the airport, something that's quite, it's not, it shouldn't hold you back from visiting. Voila. So yeah, and it costs about the antigen test costs, I think, $60, and the other tests cost between 120, 160, depending if you do it in the lab or if they come to your hotel and do it for you here. So Kirsten is leaving on Saturday, and she's doing her test tomorrow in Monteverde at the hotel, right?
And that's probably one of the least accessible areas.
Yeah.
It's really easy here. It's very easy in San Antonio.
Yeah.
It depends on doctors.
Right.
But I've switched my location.
It really, that really shouldn't hold anybody back. It's an added cost, you know, that's a shame, but you know, for our travelers, usually that's not a problem also.
Can I give this back to you?
Yeah, okay.
If you want to take it to the bar, and then I'll go
okay.
see questions.
We'll do. We're gonna go back up to the lobby and the restaurant, and hopefully my gin and tonic is ready. Oh, there it is. Look at that. What a beauty. I'm gonna be at the bar. Let's see if we. This is the view that the bartender has at work. Any applications, please send them to hans@cayugaonline.com. How you like that? Instagrammable? Yeah, I think so. All right, so Kirsten should be in her room any moment. And I actually okay. The most popular excursions here in for people staying at Kura is either to go to Corcovado for the day. It's a long day of car and boats and everything, but it's worth it if you're not going all the way down to stay in the Osa Peninsula. It's really a great tour. Nauyaca Waterfalls, which is one of the most spectacular waterfalls in Costa Rica, and definitely a must if you're in this area. And then, as I said, there's a boat beach tour that takes you along the beaches, you know, the whale's tail, snorkeling, all those kind of activities. That is definitely great again. So there's just so much to do here because the ocean meets the forest right away, and got great guides here in this area as well. And yeah, and all the tours that are available up in Manuel Antonio basically can be done from here as well. It's just a 45-minute drive up the road. The rafting in Rio Alegre is available from here as well. So that's all good. Okay, Kirsten's back in her room.
Yeah, anyone have questions, please answer them in the Q&A, and I'll be sending a follow-up with answers to all of these. Ariana, your question about FAMs in Costa Rica, we are talking about putting one together in maybe end of Q2, early Q3. it's a huge investment for the properties to host fam groups. I mean, Kura has 8 suites, so if we bring 6 people for 2 nights, everybody gets their own suite. It's just, we have to be careful right now about when we can do that. However, if you're coming to Costa Rica on your own, all of the Cayuga Collection hotels have very generous industry rates. I will send those out as a link to the follow-up. Of course, if we're able to be more generous, we will try to be. But those are kind of the baseline for if you're traveling with a significant other. Not a fam, you're kind of using your own travel as an opportunity to have an educational trip as well.
Person, if somebody wants to kind of ask a question in person, I think there's a lot of people that we are very familiar that we know and love to chat with some of you. I miss, I'm so happy that Kirsten is here, but I miss seeing all of you either here or at trade shows or all of that. I hope that's going to come back at some point in time.
Yeah, if anyone has anything to say, feel free to unmute yourself. But I also know that Zoom fatigue is a thing, so do not feel obligated.
I don't judge you if you haven't taken a shower by now. If you're still in pajamas,
Okay. Anyone else? No? Okay. Can you email the link for Senda? Yes. Hope wanted to ask if she'll see us at Ellie Miami. I don't know. The shows we might do this year, we'll see about Virtuoso Travel Week. Pure is a possibility. We kind of just need to see what's actually going to happen and where they're located.
Yeah. Yeah, we did one year. We did Ellie Miami with Kura, but I think we're gonna do Pure if it happens, if and when it happens. And yeah, but you know where to find us. We can always have a chat. Answer your questions. We're seeing really good activity coming back. I'm very positive for this year actually. Kura right now this month, which is not a great month. There's still a lot of restrictions. There's still a lot of people that are infected. We're at 60% occupancy, so I'm very positive that in a couple of months we'll be close to capacity again. We're seeing the same in Isla Palenque, in Panama. Extremely successful because that's, I guess, everybody's dream of where you want to be on this big spacious island during COVID times. But the same for Arenas del Mar and Senda. We're starting to see a lot of family bookings coming back, which makes us super happy because that obviously was basically gone. So starting May, June, we're seeing a lot of families booking that combo of Senda and Arenas del Mar. And yeah, and of course, Aguas Claras. We did the webinar from there. Was it like 10 days ago or so? Continues to be super popular with Costa Ricans. We're missing the European market there because it's very popular with Europeans. But we are seeing that Americans start to discover the other coast of Costa Rica because it really is quite special and quite unique. So yeah, we're here, we're ready, we're better than ever. We're excited that seems like we survived this, and it made us stronger, it made us better, it made us appreciate what we have here. And thank you for all your support.
Nice. And just a couple more questions that came in. Lori, yes, I will email the link to register for the Send-Up presentation. That's going to be on Friday. And I'll probably be walking around the property with one of the staff members. Hans is not going to drive to Monteverde for that one. He's going to go back home to San Jose. I am recording the webinar, so I'll send a follow-up email with links to the recording that you can share with other advisors, your team members, and also sales and marketing material that are kind of key for knowing and selling Kura to your guests. Is Clark partners with Archer Travel? We work with all travel companies and advisors and tour operators. We don't represent any. We tend to focus only on small independently owned hotels in Latin America, but Ariana, if you want to follow up about that, I'm not familiar with Archer Travel, but I can definitely get an answer for you. And then thank you, Aaron. Thanks for joining us. I will send the recording, maybe not today, but definitely by tomorrow. And if there's no other questions, Tom, thank you for joining and the compliments. I'm going to end this, and I hope to see you in Monteverde on Friday. Okay.
Thank you for joining. Bye. Hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Cheers.